Hey folks, this is Ilya with TWRAPS, and I'll show you how to install the side of the bumper paint protection film on the Mustang Mach-E. Before you begin, make sure this whole area here is clean. Alright, now spray the installation area with soapy water. Then spray the film on top. I just positioned it on the hood, and then peel off the film. Make sure it's properly positioned, that would make your life easier. And then peel off the film. And as you peel it off, spray the adhesive side. Okay, now let's position the film. Now, what you should know about the positioning here is that at this point it's going to be hard to tell how to position it because it's super curvy. So the way I like to proceed is I'll position it on this end here, and I'll try to follow this line. So notice there is a 90 degrees curve here just before the headlights. This film does not overlap with that curve, so you should position it so that it stays at the edge. And then another nice positioning alignment point is a curve here towards the front part of the headlights. And I'll just try to make all of these work with the film being centered and not sticking out much from anywhere. And then we'll work our way down. So before I begin removing the water, I'll spray the film with soapy water one more time on top. This allows the squeegee to move smoothly over the film. And I'll start removing the water from one side over here. And my aim is to kind of get initial adhesion on the top area, so that the film stays in place as we work on the bottom area. This piece here goes a little bit under the hood, so you may want to pop the hood open. Now, don't worry and don't be surprised, there will be curves here, like wrinkles. We'll work on that later. For now, we can just leave it like that. Okay, now comes the tricky part. The tricky part is this curve over here. And there are many ways to approach that curve, but the way I find to be the easiest in my mind is the following. I'll use a heat gun to make the film a lot softer, and since that runs the risk of the water under the film drying up super quickly and making like air gaps and wrinkles and whatnot, before I use a heat gun, I'll spray one more time under the film with soapy water. Now, my aim would be to get most of this in place. Remember, if the squeegee is not moving smoothly, spray the film on top. And by the way, you can use a hair dryer as well. You don't need to use a heat gun, but something to make the film warm. Now notice the following: as we are approaching this area, you need to stretch the film down a little bit so that the cutout for the parking sensor is aligned. Take your time to take all the bubbles out. That will take a while. It is kind of annoying, but you'll be happy at the end. Now I'll take care of the top here, and then we'll leave the other part for last. One other thing you can do if it won't stick is to use a separate bottle which has clean water in it, no soap, and just lift up the film a little bit and spray it with the clean water. That will essentially wash the soap away and make the film a lot easier to stick. Notice how I'm using a microfiber for the very end. The reason for that is that there's still some water here, and the microfiber would soak it, making the film stick. Now, everything is done except this part here at the lower right. And the principle here is the same. What is specific for the passenger side though is that we have a tow hook opening which we need to align. Before I continue, because it's been a while since I sprayed this, I'll spray it again, because if I try to dry install it, I'll get bubbles. So I'll just manually position and stretch the film a little bit so that it aligns with the tow hook port. Now, the previous time I installed this, when we were working on creating that cut template, I had an issue where the very thin part of the film under the tow hook would kind of seem like there is excess. That's from all the stretching and folding. So right now I got lucky, I don't have this issue, but if you do end up with that issue and you can't figure out how to fix it, the easiest way is to just grab scissors or utility knife and clip it here at the bottom. It's a tiny part, it's like 1/4 of an inch. Clip it and then just either overlap them or trim it shorter, up to you, but I'm just saying this is a very easy way to handle it if you end up stretching it in such a way that it feels that you have excess here at the bottom. And that's it. Before the installation, make sure that your bumper is clean. Now let me show you how to install the paint protection film on the Mach-E middle section of the bumper. First off, assuming this is clean, spray the bumper area with soapy water. Next up, open the roll of paint protection film and spray the film on top. Then peel off, and as you peel off the film, spray the adhesive side. Then align the film in the middle on the logo. Make sure it's not tilted, so you may also want to align it a little bit on the top to make sure that the film is not tilted and it's properly aligned. When you're done with that, spray the film on top again. You need this so that the squeegee would move freely. And then start removing the water. Start in the middle, around the logo. Which would position the film so it doesn't slide too much while you're doing the rest. And now I'll do it the passenger side first and then the driver side. You basically need to use a squeegee to take the water from under the film without leaving any bubbles. Now, towards the end, there is a curve, and depending on the temperature you're installing at and other factors, the film might be too stiff to handle this curve easily. If you spend more time with it, it's obviously doable, but another way to do it and save some time, especially if you're doing this in cold weather as I am right now, is to use a heat gun to warm up the film. Once you warm up the film, it becomes softer and a lot easier to stick. I'll use the heat gun just for this little part here. Now, since the film has dried up and the squeegee is not going very smooth on me, I'll spray the film again on top. Now for this part, where you have the bottom curve, you may want to lift up the film a little bit so that you can take the water from the top part of the curve and push it down. But you would want the top to be completely clean of water before you continue down. Otherwise, you just trap the water inside and it will be a little bit more difficult to take it out afterwards. The passenger side is done. Now I'll do the same for the driver's side. Since it's been a while since I sprayed the film on the driver's side, I'll open it a little bit and respray. Again, I'll use the heat gun for this part. I got a little bubble trap, so I am peeling off the film so I can reapply it. And there you have it.